Hi, I'm Tucker Thompson from T2P TV, and welcome to Long Beach, California for the 51st edition of the Congressional Cup. The Congressional Cup is one of the most prestigious match race regattas in the world. This year is no different, with one major exception. This marks the first time they've joined the World Match Racing Tour in over 10 years.
Well, this is a Congressional Cup. It's one of the oldest, most established and famous and most popular match racing events on the circuit. This year, the 51st year of the Congressional Cup. I mean, what a history of this event, and it's just a delight, pleasure to have it back on the World Match Racing Tour, but also as the opening event of this year's 2015-16 World Match Racing Tour season.
There are 12 teams sailing in this year's Congressional Cup, and of course, as you'd expect, they are the best match racing sailors in the world. Here's a look at this year's lineup. Australia's Keith Swinton. Sweden's Bjorn Hansen. Poland's Przemysław Tarnacki. Taylor Canfield from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Ruben Corbett from New Zealand. Eric Monin from Switzerland. Chris Steele, New Zealand. New Zealander Scotty Dixon from Long Beach. Denmark's Joachim Aschenbrenner. Long Beach Yacht Club's Dustin Durant. And sitting flight one out with a bye, it's New Zealander Phil Robertson and Ian Williams from Great Britain. We begin with Chris Steele facing Dustin Durant. These two teams had a lot of racing last week. They both qualified through the Ficker Cup. After the dial-up, it is full pace in reverse. Durant trying to stay to windward of Steele. Steele looking for a moment to spin out of Dustin's grasp. It's Steele. Lured both backs into Durant. There's a flag. Umpires will make the call. Yellow flag, contact, and Durant cops the first penalty. Another flag, this time from Durant. We're just below the umpires who will make the call. Will Durant get out of this or cop another penalty? Blue flag, nice job, Dustin Durant. No penalty now. Can he get to the line in time? There's the gun. Good news for Durant. There's no penalty. Bad news. Steele is ahead by 3 lengths. Good news for Durant, he spent a lot more time in these 37s than Steele. But Steele shows he is here to play. The lead over Durant now 4.5 lengths at the top mark. Chris Steele may be new to these boats, but he's spent a lot of time racing against Dustin.
Chris Steele from New Zealand, 36 Below Racing, and we qualified for this event through the Ficker Cup last weekend.
Having the World Match Race Tour here is pretty cool. It's my first tour event, so I think it made it a little easier for me to get in because I'm hometown, you know, but we actually took the long road and had to, you know, make it qualifying in the Ficker.
Dustin Durant, who's obviously the local hero here and also a good friend of mine, actually managed to play a game of golf with him the day after, so. And yeah, we managed to beat him on the golf course as well. So we feel like we've slightly got one up on him at the moment, but no doubt he'll come out in the first match today and come out swinging and look to try and get one back on us.
Congressional Cup remains a tour event. It'd be pretty cool if we have a good showing and maybe get to the tour one day. We get a tour card, I don't know. But right now we're just playing it race by race, so we'll see how it goes.
It was a one-sided racetrack, giving Steele the advantage. He takes first blood over Durant. Next, it's Eric Monin from Switzerland sailing in his 4th Congressional Cup. He'll face the event's youngest competitor from Denmark, Joachim Aschenbrenner. It's been a long stalemate, a 2-minute dial-up before finally both boats flop onto port. 40 seconds to go. Monen leads Aschenbrenner back to the start. A luff from Aschenbrenner. The game is close, just below the committee boat end. A flag on the play. Monen tacks, and he's over the line. 6 seconds to go. It's a big move for the young Danish skipper. Aschenbrenner wins the start, and Monen has to sail behind the committee boat. So for the rest of this match, it's Monen who will have a lot on his plate to catch up. Another newcomer to Congressional Cup, Ruben Corbett from New Zealand, enters from the right-hand end. He'll face Australia's Keith Swinton. Corbett sets up high, and Swinton moves in to close the door. Well, Swinton lets Corbett off the hook to take the left-hand side. And there's the gun. Swinton just bow forward. Corbett now on port, rolls all the dice to the right-hand side. Having sailed in 3 previous Con Cups, Swinton knows these waters and he's played the beat perfectly, extending his lead over Corbett. And Joachim Aschenbrenner's pre-start move over Monen paid off the entire race. He takes his first point in Congressional Cup. Back in the second match, look at Corbett. He is right back in the game against Swinton. Attack just on his lee bow, and he protects the starboard side. Approaching the top mark, Swinton dials down a little bit. Corbett will tack to leeward. It's very close. Both boats overlapped heading into the mark. Swinton actually has to tack away. That gives the advantage to Corbett, who goes right with him. Definitely a lead change as they set up for the hoist. Now it's Swinton on the offensive in the final run to the finish. With a pass at the top mark, Corbett holds off Swinton to the finish. Back on the starting line, left-hand side, it's Phil Robertson, the Kiwi. He'll face Sweden's Bjorn Hansen on starboard. No dial-up, both boats sail well up the track. Robertson will tack and head back to the line. Hansen ducks below. The teams compress back at the line. Hansen pushes Robertson over the line. 1 minute to go. Now Robertson will sail above the committee boat. Somehow Robertson sailed all the way over the top of Hansen, got a jibe in onto starboard, then hooked him to leeward inside the committee boat. He's back in control with 15 seconds. Well, talk about an impressive turn of events. That's not how Hansen wanted to start this match. He'll round the committee boat, and Robertson is off in the lead. For Hansen, it is all but over. He'll roll the dice to the right-hand side and give chase to Robertson. We're back on the line, this time with Scotty Dixon on starboard, sailing in his 15th Congressional Cup as a skipper, and he's facing Eric Monen on port. Dixon to windward and in reverse, Monen holding still to leeward. Trouble for Dixon. He's lost his bow. He's close to colliding with Monen as a leeward boat. Oh! A little bit of crunch there for sure. There will be a penalty from Monen. And here it comes. An unforced error turns into a yellow flag. Penalty, Dixon. At the start, Dixon leads to the left-hand pin end, and Monen will tack away. While the final match is in their pre-start, the first match finishes. No surprise, Phil Robertson takes the race. At the top mark, it is Dixon's race over Monin, but remember, he still has that penalty to shed before the finish. At the bottom of the track, it's a split at the gates with Monin heading right and Dixon heading left. Look how close this match is. We move to Keith Swinton facing Chris Steele. Swinton was on the outside. We're on lay line for the finish at the pin. Steele jibes, most likely a flag there, and it is close to the finish. I take that back. A red flag penalty, and it's blue. Swinton is out. Back in the Dixon-Monin match, the game is also close. Dixon was ahead. Remember, he has a penalty to undertake. We're at the top mark, so Dixon hit the brakes. Monin closed in, and now it's basically bow to bow as both teams rush to get the spinnakers up. Dixon jibes, Monin oversteering, slowing down, but still close enough to get a hook. Can Scotty luff him? No, Monin slips in just behind. Dixon has dropped his spinnaker to try and reel Monin in, but Monin, a nice move, keeps his spinnaker up and now tries to roll Scotty over the top of his bow, break the overlap, put his bow across the line, and he's done it from behind. Give the race to Eric Monin. Our next match is perhaps the most anticipated race of the day. It's world rank number 2 against world rank number 1. It's Taylor Canfield, the reigning Congressional Cup champion, against Ian Williams, the reigning match racing world champion. And so far, it's Williams having his way with Canfield down near the pin end. Canfield gets back to the starting line. It'll be Ian Williams to leeward, Canfield to windward, just bow forward. There's the gun. Canfield just gets the edge over Williams. It's Canfield who first has to tack away as a windward boat, and Williams will extend. At the first cross, Williams takes the lead. This is perhaps the greatest rivalry currently in match racing. Williams is ahead at the top mark, but you can never write out a competitor like Taylor Canfield. Downwind, and Canfield is right back into it. Canfield has jibed a spinnaker, but not his main. It was a fake. Now Williams will go for a jibe. Canfield responds and luffs up. Now, can he get over the top of Williams' breeze, or can Williams defend? It is all on in the match right here. The spinnaker collapsing for Ian Williams to leeward. He's still a leeward boat, but look at Canfield's pace as he pulls forward and over the top of Williams' bow. Into the leeward gates, Canfield will round the left-hand gate looking upwind, leaving Williams with a slower spinnaker drop to head off to the right. Both boats split all the way to their respective lay lines. The left fills in for Canfield at the top mark for the last time. And Canfield, who lost to Williams at the last tour event in Malaysia, has evened the score, at least for now. It was the Monsoon Cup, the last tour event that Ian Williams won. The question is, will he come back on top this week, or will Taylor Canfield defend his title, or will any one of the other top 10 teams have their chance to wear the Crimson Blazer? Only time will tell as the Congressional Cup continues here in Long Beach, California. I'm Tucker Thompson. We'll see you tomorrow.